on the stool in 7th. Same thing with Alex Stewart. Gave him a lot of trouble before he succumbed.
We are back live from Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino Hotel here in the boxing capital of the world of Atlantic City, New Jersey for this evening's main event, and is being promoted by Corona Extra in association with Merv Griffin's Resorts. Is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the Honorable Larry Hazard, Senior Commissioner, the Honorable Jerry Gormley, Chairman. The members of the board include Gary Shaw and Al Daniels. Our Chief Boxing Inspector is Lawrence Wallace. The judges, Eva Shane, Tom Kazmarek, and Al DeVito. The Chief Physician in attendance at ringside this afternoon is Dr. Frank B. Doggett, along with his two excellent colleagues, Dr. Earl C. Shaw and Dr. Eric F. Wormser. Our timekeeper to bell is Arthur Spell. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Jimmy Condon. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round heavyweight bout, referee Rudy Battle. Heavyweight explosion continues. Introducing first in the blue corner, wearing the emerald green trunks with the red and gold trim. He weighed in at an even 217 pounds. This young man is undefeated in 11 pro bouts with 8 knockouts. The former 3-time world amateur champion from Long Beach, California. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Jeremy Williams. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at an even 231 pounds. He has 13 wins, 19 losses, 1 draw, with 8 knockouts. From Charlotte, North Carolina. Boxing fans, here is Mark the Storm Young.
Well, Mark Young says that the storm is brewing again. As you look at the tail of the tape and some of the numbers, of course, Mark Young, the older of the two, and has that 231 pounds compared to the quicker 217. Slight reach advantage for Williams as well. The New Jersey rules will be governing this fight. Again, as you see from top to bottom, the knockdown rule is in effect, along with the standing 8. Also the 10-point scoring system. And, of course, the doctor can, of course, make an opportunity to stop the fight. Heavyweight explosion, once again, from Merv Griffin's Resorts International Casino Hotel. And we're ready for our main event as Jeremy Williams coming out on the green. And in the blue is Mark Young. Young, one of those fighters that will stay around. And Jeremy Williams, a man that would like to get him out of there with 8 knockouts in 11 professional wins without a loss.
Jeremy Williams getting started with a good, solid power left jab. Trying to set up everything from that.
Now a little bit better conditioning for Mark Young. What's that going to do to his game plan today, Bob?
Well, like I said, Mark's the kind of guy, he lets it all hang out. If he's got 4 rounds in him, that's what you get. You know, some fighters, they try to spread that 4 rounds of conditioning over 10 rounds and not fight much at all. We'll see how many rounds Mark Young's got in him, but as many as he's in condition for, he'll fight for. There he goes, getting young. I mean, getting low. I should getting young, but that's what he'll try to do, get you out of your game plan. A guy will never get that low on you in the amateurs. You can't bring your head below your opponent's belt line.
Young, of course, very limited amateur career. Had only 2 fights, won both of those by knockout. So he is learning as he goes along as a pro. And realizes quite realistically at 29 years of age that the time has come for him to either do something in the ring or think about trying to do something else. And as he says, the storm once again is brewing.
But he's got a little method to his madness, Mark Young. You know, he knows he can't outbox Jeremy Williams. He's got to go in, he's got to make something happen. He's got to, maybe he can get Williams a little frustrated, maybe make him reach, but Williams doesn't seem to have any of it. He's sitting back there, he seems very focused and concentrating. He's just going to box. If a knockout comes, it'll come.
Jeremy Williams with a lightning fast left jab. And he's been feeding to Mark Young almost religiously through this first round. You see it there again, just a snapping left jab.
That's it.
Then he dug a right to the body and got caught with an uppercut right hand from Mark Young. There's that left jab again.
Young's got a dangerous uppercut. His form is terrible on it, but he's very strong and he lands it.
Knocked off balance by almost his own punch.
Punch with him, Mark. Jab with him.
It was going to be interesting to see what 21-year-old Jeremy Williams would do when he first came out against Mark Young. Would it be Young that forces him into the corner, or would it be Williams that was the pursuer? Right now, even though none has been fought on the ropes so far, neither fighter has really taken full advantage of the other. So it's still a touch-and-go feeling out process here through round one. Even though Williams now lands with a good combination, Young tries to counter off the rope and slips away from another looping left hand.
And that jab of Jeremy Williams already got a little blood flowing out of Mark Young's nose. Excellent power jab by the young prospect from Long Beach.
You can see Young kind of inviting that right hook as he holds the left hand down to his waist. We finish up the action in round one. Young kind of making a little advance at Jeremy Williams. Williams is going to try to advance back.
Give me a round. Give me a round.
They'll head for their
Once
corners.
again, here is the very charming
Apparently they had not
Diane.
settled everything they needed to in the first 3 minutes. They wanted to have a little extra out of round one. Little showmanship. By the way, Young is standing over in his corner.
Sweatshirts,
I don't recall him standing before. Is he standing during the
The
other
other
fight?
things might be an indication of that he's in better shape this time. I don't agree with it myself.
Sweatshirts with the boxing
Jeremy Williams, meanwhile, is taking full advantage of the stool on the other side.
A 4 right hands this time instead of the jab.
Take
Okay?
advantage
And
of it.
working
Got the
outside the ropes. Just there's that quick lightning fast left jab.
Take advantage of it.
And again, trying to follow up with the right hand if he can, but he snaps it right in between the gloves. Once again, a Mark Young. That's been an effective punch so far. They're scheduled for 10 rounds here on the Heavyweight Explosion 5 from Atlantic City. Jeremy Williams on the left, Mark Young on the right. Young is making his second appearance on the Heavyweight Explosion. A brand new look at Jeremy Williams, undefeated in his first 11 pro fights.
His dad told him he wanted to see the right hand in this round. Let's see what he does. But he's getting off with a good left jab. He feints a couple of times. It's a good power. It's like a poleaxe, Sam. That kind of jab will get you unsettled. That's no flicking jab.
Trying to lead with a looping right hook to the body that time rather than setting up with a jab. Throws Young against the ropes and then attacks with a combination. Big left hook. Young's in some trouble on the ropes. Rudy Bowers watching closely, but Williams is going right after him. He's down. Young is down and rolls almost out of the ring. He's going to get up quickly here, but Jeremy Williams with some big punches has Young on the canvas. Rudy Bowers asking if he's all right. Asking to get his hands up, and here comes Williams. A left hook, a right hook, and he's down again. A second knockdown in the round. 3 knockdown rule in effect in New Jersey. One more time. Young to go down in this round, and it is over. Rudy Battle hesitating to count momentarily, getting Williams over in the neutral corner. And now here he comes again. Looping left hand to the bottom. A right hand over the top. If Young goes down again, it's all over. He's teeter-tottering, but it's not down yet. Williams with a right hand.
Big right hand. He's got it down here again.
A left hand. Young is reeling to the ropes. Young is in trouble. Williams trying to get him out here in the second round. A left hand, a right hand. Young is leaning on the ropes to stay out. Another right hand. Now Rudy Battle is getting him separated, and here he comes again. Mark Young maybe surviving a 2 knockdown here.
Using everything he knows, trying to get through this round.
Williams again right on top of him. He backs into the ropes in the opposite corner. Young looks like he has recovered for the most part, at least is being a little more defensive to try to hold off the punches.
Jeremy Williams doing a good job trying to finish Mark Young, but he's not, thrown caution to the winds. He's still in a good defensive posture here as Young tries to get his feet underneath him.
You see the time left. There's still plenty of time. Fighter cannot be saved with a bell except for the last round only here in New Jersey. So Mark Young holding on at every opportunity. It'll be interesting to see if he doesn't finish him off in this round, if he's patient enough to fight on in the third and then try to get him in trouble again with a patient attack. Rudy Battle trying to get him broken up again. 2 knockdowns in this round as Williams has floored Young. Young apparently has survived the second round to fight on for a third, and he'll have to regroup in a hurry. Jeremy Williams really proving it was a major round for him. Almost on the scorecards, you could score that one almost any way in his favor, but certainly it could go as low as a 10-7 round, and certainly could. I think it did on your card, Bob.
Yeah, really an awesome round for Jeremy Williams right there. He got Mark Young in trouble early in the round, but he paced himself. He didn't do it on reckless abandon. He tried to finish him when it didn't come. He composed himself, and he'll be ready to go again.
Let's take a look at how Williams knocked down Young in the first round here, Bob. Setting it up with a lead left, and let's see what he hits him with. The big right hand over the top.
I think that was the second knockdown. The first one sent him nearly out of the ring.
Let's take a look at it again and see what he's got here. As again, just an accumulation of punches, and down goes Young as he spins to the campus for a second time. They're heading for the third. Third round of a fight that is very much turned in favor of Jeremy Williams from Long Beach on the left in the green trunks. He knocked Young down twice in the second round. A combination of punches, a right hook the first time, and a left and a right to the body the second time, and a right over the top finally did Young down, but he's up, survived the round, and fights on the third.
Well, Jeremy Williams really impressive on the way that he tried to finish Mark Young. He didn't get so overzealous. Now, Young's showing him, hey, I still got some power in there, and you can't just walk to me any kind of way, but Jeremy Williams got some ideas of his own. He's going to go right back to the basics and get that job started, work off that power left jab, and he also did some real good work with the left hook to the body there when he had Young hurt there, Sam, in the second round, and those will pay him dividends later in the fight.
You can see how he came with a straight left jab and then uppercut and hook to the body with the left hand as he followed that jab. So he's got Young guessing on which punch will be coming at him next. He's got a good arsenal of punches. As Jeremy Williams, 21-year-old youngster out of Long Beach, California. Amateur record, we made mention of all the titles that he won. He lost only 4 fights out of 172 as an amateur. Just almost unbelievable. He has also managed Bill Clayton. We made mention early on in the fight game. Of course, Bill Clayton very instrumental in the Mike Tyson climb to success. And now finding another diamond in the rough here in Jeremy Williams.
Obviously, it's like the old Oakland Raiders. They used to say, they didn't reload, they didn't rebuild, they reloaded, and that's the way Bill Clayton and Steve Lott are doing with their young prospect Jeremy Williams here. They worked with Mike Tyson, had a good run with him. They've got Tommy the Duke Morrison, WBO heavyweight champion right now, and they've got Jeremy Williams coming up. Some awesome heavyweights.
Bill Clayton, by the way, is in attendance here this afternoon and watching on the ringside, and he likes what he sees right now. Even though the third round has been anything but a boxing match, as they are both being rather cautious at this stage.
Well, Young's relying on all his experience. He came out there and tried to leave an impression with Jeremy Williams that he hadn't been hurt, but he'd been hurt. You can be sure of that.
Young doing a little clowning around. Williams is not buying any of it. He may be rather brash and a little bit arrogant to the side, but he's very confident as well and doesn't buy Yeah, Young is trying to feed him right now.
Yeah, Jeremy Williams, he gives that impression, but really he's a gentleman. He just, you know, he knows he's got to take this. The only time we get to see this kid is, you know, the day before the fight. He's got his fight face on. I've been with he and his father after fights, and really, you know, you can't say nice enough things about him.
Well, they fought through 3 here in Atlantic City now. Jeremy Williams, after getting Young in trouble early on, relegated himself to just seeing what the 3rd round might bring. If Young was going to come at him, he was going to counter. He had an opportunity to go forward. He's going to do that more or less.
You're doing good.
Kind of a resting round by both fighters in the 3rd round.
Williams had extended himself in the 2nd round trying to finish Mark Young, so he had to rest a little bit, box behind that jab, and Mark Young was more than happy to accommodate him and try to get his legs underneath him. So I think we'll be back to a larger fireworks in this 4th round coming up.
Mark Young continues to stand in his corner. They continue to ice him down from below as Bill Early will work outside the ropes, and Young leaning on the ropes as he gets the seconds out as we head for the 4th round.
Seconds out. Let it ring. Stay in the corner. Stay in the corner. Get back.
Heavyweight Explosion 5 from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Resorts International. Mark Young in the blue, Jeremy Williams in the green, Sam Smith along with Bob Spagnola on the ringside. Glad you could join us for the 5th edition of the Heavyweight Explosion. We, of course, are showcasing some up-and-coming new stars, certainly in the form of Jeremy Williams, and some older fighters that are trying to make their mark again in the form of Mark Young here today.
Mark's coming in that wild right uppercut, but he, like I said, his form isn't much with it, Sam, but he's so strong, he can hurt you with it. But Jeremy Williams, if he beats him to the punch with that nice short left hook, I think we're going to see more of the same.
There you see Williams trying to do damage when Young gets inside. Mark Young again trying to defend with that right hand, holding the left way down. Trying to rely that he's got enough quickness or speed to get away from Jeremy Williams when he throws the right hand. Got him that time on the shoulders, catches him again that time, right on the side of the face. They washed to a clinch and broken up by Rudy Battle.
Men, they're fighting in for positioning right now.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
I really appreciate a 21-year-old by the name of Jeremy Williams. 2 knockdowns, 2nd round, patient enough to fight the fight he needed to fight in the 3rd, and doing more the same in the 4th here, Bob.
He's not going to let Mark Young, you know, take him out of his fight game with all these annex, you know, that Mark will use. But Mark's, you know, he's got a good uppercut himself, and there's that left hook by Williams. But I think he's most effective on the outside, setting things up with that left jab, and then working his way in behind it.
Bob Spagnola, the manager of world champion Orlando Canizales, and you've got him in action coming up very shortly, I understand.
Yeah, he's back in the gym now, chomping at the bit.
Hoping to defend his title sometime probably in the month of November or December, certainly. And we're looking forward to seeing what happens with Orlando Canizales, one of the most popular fighters around the world. Very, very likable young man from Laredo, Texas.
I really like the way that Jeremy Williams, he moves his head and shifts his weight well. His balance is under control at all times in there in the ring. And you know, when he gets in these clinches, he's not trying to muscle with Mark Young in there. He's waiting for Rudy Battle, who's very capable to do his job, get him out of there and start again from scratch. This guy's a right-hand lead there.
This is the kind of fight, Bob, that gets the crowd a little restless. They saw all that action in the 2nd round, and they expected more of the same in the 3rd, now in the 4th. And even though, as you pointed out, they're both kind of jockeying for position here, the crowd getting a little bit restless right now in the 4th.
No, they are, but just as they started to boo some of the earlier fights, you know, I mean, you can't fight for the crowd. You got to do, certain opponents just won't let you. And Jeremy Williams, their heads came together a little bit there.
Jeremy Williams, 21, the fresher of the 2 fighters, it appears, even though Mark Young continues to stand in his corner. An opportunity during our feature, and of course, getting all of our footage together He was really kind of hawking it up for the cameras, doing a lot of things. Of course, Mark Young, we had to prod him a bit more to get kind of that nastiness out of him, a very low-key, laid-back type fighter. Nonetheless, he says he knows that he has to get that lightning and thunder going again, to get the stars out of the way and get the storm going again. He hoped to bring that here today, a hurricane, I think he called it. It's been anything but a hurricane today, but again, has been the storm clouds have been gathering. You know it's still there. Just hasn't approached the Atlantic City area as of yet.
That's right. He told us he's not starving anymore, but he sure is hungry.
Well, he's hungry enough to be heading for the 5th round of this fight this afternoon with Jeremy Williams. They're fighting in round number 5 of our heavyweight explosion 5. And this is the feature event as Jeremy Williams, undefeated at 11-0 in the green trunks, now starting to get a little bit more saturated with water, fighting against the blue trunks of Mark Young. Young again down twice in the 2nd round, revived himself enough to be here in the 5th.
Nice jab, like Jeremy Williams. He's in trouble. Mark Young's got a good chin, though. He absorbed that hook.
Now he's starting to talk to Williams a little bit, so the storm apparently is approaching Atlantic City. The thunder and lightning definitely starting in the eyes and the demeanor here of Mark Young. Williams is trying to defuse the storm as he knocks him down for a 3rd time. The first time here in the 5th round.
Mark went over to his corner and told him that was a slip. Got his legs tangled up.
No slip there. There's a big punches by Williams.
Tripped over a left hook.
And here comes Williams back to the attack again. Young holding on, trying to keep any more punishment from coming his way. Literally picking up and now really battleless. Reading the right active. Any more of that, and it's not only a points deduction, but even worse consequences.
Here comes that jab. Jeremy gets it all started with that power left hand. And Mark's just got nothing to answer that back with.
Williams again snuck a right hand in there. Williams kind of inviting Young to get off the ropes and come to the center of the ring and fight. Halfway through the 5th round.
Good assortment of punches by the young prospect, Jeremy Williams, here.
There you see the combination thrown by Williams. He's got great angles, Bob. Goes from everywhere.
He really does. And as we said in the opening, Sammy, you know, Mark is an animated guy. He'll get low and get wild with you, but this kid is a dangerous puncher, and you giving him an opening, and he can finish you.
Of his 8 knockouts, 7 of them came in the first 3 rounds, 4 in the first, 3 in the second, and none in the 3rd. So actually inside the 2 rounds, he had won 7 of his 8 fights that he won by knockout there, but of course we're now in the 5th.
And you also have to appreciate, you know, there's a cut over the eye of Mark Young. Jeremy Williams is just one year away from being a 3-round fighter, so he's making a transition. When he gets out into those later rounds, he probably has a tendency to box a little bit more, which he's very capable of doing. He's a beautiful boxer. He's not just a poker. He's not a one-dimensional fighter at all.
Mark Young is going to have to do something special to turn this back his way after those knockdowns in the 7th. Last win for him came in November of 1992 when he won a 4-round undercard fight against Rick Honeycutt. So it's been a long time against victories. Of course, losing in 10 rounds to Buster Ramos Jr. in August in his last fight on Explosion 3. Closing seconds of the 5th round. At the end of this round, we'll be halfway through this scheduled 10-rounder from Merv Griffin's Resorts International. Jeremy Williams, one of the interesting things we told you about at the top of the show, did not do as you see him working on that cut a little more on the right eye of Mark Young, and that'll be of concern before this fight is over. Back to the point on Jeremy Williams is the fact that he did not do any sparring in this fight. What are your thoughts on that, Bob Spagnuolo?
Well, I don't think it's adversely affected him in any here, Sam. I mean, different people have different notions about that, but you're dealing with heavyweights, and you know, fighters get banged up in the ring. I'm sure he had some sparring, not absolutely none, but they're confident with their pad work and you know, the conditioning regiment that they put him through, that, you know, he doesn't have to be one of these guys doing 70, 100 rounds a fight to get prepared, and that's the way they feel. If that's what they have confidence in, obviously it's working.
Well, was it a stagger or was it a punch that put him down? Young, a big right hand started his problems, and he was on his way down. It definitely was a right hand on the knockdown. As he battled away here as we get ready to head into the 6th round of this fight and a replay again of the knockdown of the last round. That was the 3rd time that Young had gone down, and now some string problems on the right glove of Young. Quickly eliminated there. Very nicely done by Rudy Battle. Big right hand by Williams over the top again. Young clenching to try to keep any further punches from coming.
Nice right hand lead by Jeremy Williams, right on the mark. Mark Young relying on all his defensive skills to survive.
Big right hand has Young in trouble. He's trying to clinch to hang on, and Williams already knocking Young down 3 times early in the fight. Is going for another.
And the blood on the back of Jeremy Williams isn't his own.
Get off his neck. Get off the head.
Young with a cut over his left eye. His pride certainly hurt here this afternoon with this 21-year-old youngster, Jeremy Williams, knocking him down twice in the 2nd, again in the 5th. And now they're in round number 6.
Williams taking his time. He turns the jab into a hook and lands it flush on Mark Young, who's grabbing, holding. I can't blame him for that, Sam.
You know, the toughest fight by Williams came, he said, against Marion Wilson. He won in 8 rounds in March of this year. Fighting at 217 pounds, exactly what he's fighting at today. The heaviest, by the way, he's fought as a pro. He not only was knocked down, but also got a cut against Williams, but survived to win. And he said that truly was his toughest he's had as a pro.
Yeah, Mo Wilson's a very tough guy out of Baltimore. Strong, hard-headed, and awkward. Comes in with his head a lot, and I think that's what he cut Jeremy Williams with. But those kind of guys, when you got a fighter like Jeremy Williams, Bill Cayton knows, you know, you're going to put him in there. You know, you got to. A lot of guys won't go near him. You know, other young prospects. Although his Donnell Nicholson, who was on the Olympic team with as a 200-pound representative for the United States, took the fight with Jeremy Williams and was knocked out in 3 rounds. You don't see too many people putting prospects together at that stage, but they're very confident with this kid, and they're willing, you know, to take some chances. He shined in that fight. It was great exposure for him.
Well, he's been fighting since a youngster in the amateur ranks, certainly under the tutelage of his own father, Charles Williams. He got under the direction of Kevin Williams as he tees off on Young again and has him in trouble. Another right hand, and Young is going to be out. He falls literally out of the ropes, and this one is over. Young falls clear out of the ring, has a desperate cut on the forehead, and Williams celebrating across the way, and there is major concern for Mark Young. He is down and out on the ring apron. The people at ringside doing yeoman job, even keeping from falling even more. The doctors are up here quickly. Major concern as across the way there is celebration, but again it'll be tampered considerably by the sight across the ring as Mark Young on his back, almost helpless. As Williams does win the fight, he gets the big knockout here in the 6th round. As he is toweled down and cleaned off again, they continue to work on Mark Young across the way. He was in trouble when the right hook was going down. As he was going down, Jeremy Williams continued to connect, and there was Bill Cayton as he's in the ring with Jeremy Williams. And there is Mark Young. Let's take a look at the damage that was done again to Mark Young that finally sent him through the ropes. There's the left hook to the body. Again, he had already been stunned with a right hook now to get him in this posture. The right hand to the chin got him into more trouble. And here is the major punch right off the temple and the left side of the head. He goes through the ropes, out of the ropes, and is caught by the people at ringside. And wisely, that could have been something that considerably saved more damage to Mark Young, because he could have fallen clearly completely off the apron and out of the ring. Again, another look from a different angle. This will give you a better look at the right hand of the temple. It's coming right there, and that's the one that did the damage, and out of the ring he goes. You can see Williams knew that he was in trouble and held off, did not go after him any further. As Young is still on his back and now being helped here still. We'll be in the background for that. Dr. Duggan and his associates from New Jersey all out trying to help the fallen Mark Young as Jeremy Williams wins in the knockout here in the 6th round and moves his record to 12-0. Bill Cayton along with our own Bob Spagnola as they visit here in the center of the ring, waiting for conversation from Jeremy Williams and the official announcement of the time. Let's see if we can get the official announcement of the time. Let's go upstairs. Here's go to Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of this bout, 2 minutes and 31 seconds of the 6th round, and a winner by a knockout, and still undefeated, Jeremy Williams.
So there is the official announcement as Jeremy Williams, with his 9th knockout in his 12th professional career, does it the old-fashioned way. 2 knockdowns in the 2nd round, another one in the 5th, and finally puts him away. Mark Young in the 6th with a clear knockout and gets the hands raised. But there's the concerning moment we had for Mark Young, who was down on his back. He's up on his stool. The doctors are continuing to talk to him and work on him across the way, and hopefully he is going to be all right. While they're consulting and going over Mark Young, let's go upstairs and get some words from the winner, Jeremy Williams. Here's Bob Spagnola. Bob?
I'm here with Team Williams here. Obviously excited after a big win. How do you feel?
I feel good. No, it was an exciting fight, an exciting victory. I felt that I won every single round, maybe 6 or 7, whatever we did. Mark Young was tough. I hit him with a lot of good shots, a couple of great shots, and it just shows he was a true veteran, and he was able to handle what I could throw because I'm just a rookie, But I'm making strides in the boxing divisions and the heavyweight division, and from now on, Team Williams, this is my crew right here. So Steve, he's not in the picture. We're doing good.
No, excellent work by you. What was one of the most impressive things where you hurt him badly in the 2nd round. You took your time, followed up. How do you feel?
Well, I felt good. I didn't do that by myself. I looked over in my corner. I saw my father right here telling me back. And I saw Nelson over there. He was telling me, relax, calm down, because, one shot ain't going to do this guy. He's 29 years old, older than my oldest brother. So I'm like, just take my time and do what I got to do. 4 or 5 rounds later, whatever it was over.
Excellent. You feel good working back with your dad?
Yeah, my dad is my man, my best friend, my father, of course, my discipliner, and the man who raised me. So how could I not feel good working with my father?
Obviously, with all you guys accomplished together in the amateurs, it wasn't much to give.
Tough road, but Allah blessed us. Look where we're at now at Merv Griffins Resorts International. We're doing good here in America. What's up to the people of the world?
All right, let's look down here at the monitor here for me and talk us through the knockout.
Wow, I turned southpaw. A lot of people didn't know I'm ambidextrous, so I hit her with a right hook to the body, then another uppercut shot and missed that one. Yeah. And then this is a key punch for me. I do this a lot. It's a right hand hook. Not a lot of people look for that.
We'll take another look at it from another angle here. 1 second, we'll get right back. He was badly hurt.
Oh, he's a tough kid. I think my dad can comment on that.
Yeah, this guy was, he had it all planned what he wanted to do. He was going to stay low anytime he got hit, which was smart of him, Made it difficult for us, but Jeremy, he hung in there with patience, and he stayed with it, and eventually I knew we'd catch up with it, and that's exactly what he did.
Oh, his patience, you looked excellent. You're a 10-round main event fighter.
I'm only 21 years old.
Let me bring your manager in here and get a report card from him, Bill.
I think he did a wonderful job. As you say, after 2 rounds, when he had the guy hurt, instead of just going all out, he took his time, he relaxed, and just finished him off when he should.
That poleaxe and left jab on him. That was awesome.
Very good. He won every minute of every round, which is all you can ask of any fighter. He did a great job.
Hey, Lennox, I saw you over there on Sky TV. You better look out, partner. Because, you're good, but you don't scare me.
All right.
That's the guy that's made for Lennox Lewis. He's made.
Congratulations, fellas. Back to you, Sam.
Thank you very much, Bob Spagnola. As, of course, you see the good side in the fact that Mark Young is being helped off to the dressing room. And, of course, a challenge thrown out to Lennox Lewis by Jeremy Williams somewhere, hopefully, down the road. Well, we had a couple of outstanding undefeated heavyweights to battle early this day as Jimmy Huffman in the black goes up